Today's guest has been going viral for wanting to take over the United Kingdom.
So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I said, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
We are taking over. Don't you see in your hospitals the amount of ethnic minorities that are working in there? Don't you see your surgeons, the amount of black people, brown people, Arabic people, people of religion, people of none taking over?
His popularity surged when he confronted a British politician to remove the LGBTQ awareness from schools.
I'm asking you, are you going to support Muslim parents who don't want their children to learn about LGBT indoctrination?
He's a Birmingham-based property developer and an activist for Muslim communities in Britain.
And brother, I am not a religious scholar, but what I can tell you something on the basis of humanity, Islam preaches peace. Islam preaches love. In Islam, it's actually written that we must follow the rule and the law of the land.
He hates Zionists.
The issue is Zionists. We are not against Jewish people, we are against Zionists.
He despised Tommy
2 shekel Robinson.
and the people who support Tommy.
Most those people who are supporting Tommy Robinson are absolutely deluded. Most those people who believe that Islam is a threat is absolutely deluded.
Wait,
One second. I can't hear you. 1 second. I can tell you that Muslims are ready, always ready to.
His name, Shakil Afzal. Yeah, Shakil Afzal, I've seen you around and you've made a lot of noise, almost, on the broadcast channels, on the protest, on the podium, in the politics, in the UK politics. You've been everywhere the past 2 years, I have to say. I think your emergence happened in last year. That's when I started seeing more of you, and you just ever since took off. Could you tell me more about yourself for the people who don't know who you are? Because of course everything that you do is more political. You're out there pro-Palestinian, you're supporting the cause and all the that you've been doing on that other side. Could you tell the public who want to know who you are personally? I mean, who's after Shakil if I was to meet in the street or if I went to school with you?
Well, look, Shakil Afzal is somebody who is by trade a property developer. I am a human rights activist and have been since birth on the Kashmir issue. I rose to prominence and in the social media spectrum in 2019 when I was taken to High Court for a 5-day trial and was cross-examined for over 8.5 hours because I stood against schools teaching Abrahamic faith children things that went against their protected characteristics. And as you know, in UK we have 9 protected characteristics that are enshrined by law. So what I mean by that is anyone of religious faith shouldn't push their values onto those who are not of religious faith, and those who are not of religious faith shouldn't push their values on people who are of a religious faith. And schools, unfortunately, in 2019 were pushing a ideology onto Abrahamic faith children, Christian children, Jewish children, to which me and my community, which is predominantly 99.9% Muslim, stood against. And we made good impact. We were able to make every parent up and down the UK aware as to what the schools were doing. We were also able to stop some extremist elements from pushing their narrative on our children. As you will know, every community has extremists, whether it's the Muslim community, the black community, the LGBT community, and this is what we stand against. So I came to prominence then because I started to speak, because only when my door was knocked with the problem. So prior to this, I had no understanding, and when I got involved, I realized that there were people who claimed to represent us, but were actually taking money, and they were misrepresenting us, and that didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I mean, that is a common theme in politics now, especially today more than ever. People always say, hey, we got the best interest for you, but they're actually just lying in their pocket and doing their stuff. So that is the video of you when you were talking to a white lady and you're going on about the trans issue in the school, right?
Well, there's been loads of videos. You'll have to direct me to which particular one.
Yeah,
if
there
you
was
wanna,
one that
if you
went
want.
viral, which obviously you and a couple other guys and also girls, and you were having a conversation, and you're against the teaching of trans ideology, LGBT, into schools. I think that's the one you're talking about, right? That's when everything
Yeah,
died. Yes.
yeah.
On that topic.
Just to clarify, that wasn't where it started. I think the video you're referring to is my talk with the member of parliament Jess Phillips, who came from outside of our constituency and came outside a school that's predominantly 99.9% Muslim, and tried to educate us in what we should be teaching our children. So that particular video did go viral, as did many others.
Yeah.
But the main point is, we are not against, and I would like to clarify, we are not against teaching our children about the diverse society that exists here in UK.
That's right.
Whether you be LGBT, whether you be atheist, whether you are Sikh, Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, our whole stance was that we are not anti-LGBT. I am not a religious scholar, but what I am is a parent. And what I wanted, or what we were pushing, was a live and let live society.
Oh, yeah.
That we should teach children about the diverse society that exists, but we must not infringe on their protected characteristic. So just to clarify, what I mean by that is, we should teach a Jewish and Christian child that LGBT people exist here.
Right.
We should respect them, but we do not have to morally accept that their lifestyle is something that our religious value accepts. We shouldn't mistreat them. We shouldn't, they shouldn't be inferior in any way, shape, or form. The same way, if I was to ask an atheist, do you believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the last messenger and Islam is the most divine religion? And if he says no, I will not call him a Islamophobe because he disagrees with me. So we shouldn't be called homophobes if, we only are saying that our children should be our children, for us to raise them how we think is morally correct.
Yeah, there's a lot of sense of states getting involved in doing the parents' job, which is obviously concerning for somebody like myself who want to have kids and do and just raise my kids. I wouldn't want the government to tell my kids what to learn and how to behave. I mean, that's my job. I'm the parent, right? So yeah, totally understand your concern there. But a lot of people would argue that there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to because there's this thing. I don't know much about Islam, but I tried to learn from the little Quran that I get given on the road, and little leaflets that I get given on the road here in Manchester. I tried to learn and talk with scholars who are sitting there in a tent giving out thing. But one might argue that there's a lot of hypocrisy when you say that you're fine with trans ideology. One would say that if that was in a Muslim country, those guys would not exist. I mean, what would you say to those people? Because that's a valid concern as well. Because obviously, Islam.
Yeah. Just to clarify, I didn't say I'm fine with trans ideology. I said that trans people have a right to exist here the same way we do, and I can't really comment for other Muslim country or what they would do, because I'm a British citizen.
That's right.
I was born in this country, so I can only represent what happens in this country. And in this country, we are taught to respect each other. And you said absolutely correct. Our issue was with central government and even some political parties forcing down the neck of devout Christians who go to the church every Sunday, forcing down the neck of their children things that are completely contradictory to their religious values. Now, I posed a question that if we are teaching young children that transgender lifestyle is acceptable, are we also teaching young children that Christian values, Jewish values, do not accept transgender lifestyle and actually consider it a major sin? So this is the reason why we have taken the stance with regards to Muslim countries. You must, in Islam in itself, and you mentioned earlier that you don't know much about Islam, and brother, I am not a religious scholar, but what I can tell you something on the basis of humanity: Islam preaches peace. Islam preaches love. In Islam, it's actually written that we must follow the rule and the law of the land which we are living in. That's why you see so many Muslims prospering here, owning businesses.
Yeah.
You can see our mosques are going up left, right, and center because there's a demand for it. You know, you can only see half of the churches in UK are being converted into restaurants or actually mosques because unfortunately Christians are getting sucked in to secularism, are getting sucked into moving away from their religious faith. Unfortunately, Muslims are not. Muslims are more powered, and that's not our fault. If we want to, you know, if you go to any church, and I challenge your viewers, on Sunday, go to any of your local church, how many people? And then I challenge you to go to your Friday mosque and look how many people. So, you know, the fact that Islam is the fastest growing religion, there's got to be something that they're doing right.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree that there's something that one can argue that there must be something that's attracting these mass conversion of obviously new people, meaning newborn and existing individuals who discover it and say, hey, this is a thing that I want, you know, this is something that represents me, and they join. But also, obviously, I don't know if you know, but of course you know, I mean, a lot of people in the media, or maybe I should say Twitter, would say this is the takeover. This is Muslims trying to take over the kingdom, trying to Islamize it, or they call it the Islamification of Britain. Now, and try to bring in Sharia law in the UK. Now, there's one podcast that you did which went viral. Like, it went everywhere. I think till today, where you said, I'm gonna try to quote you here. You said, we're not here to stay. We're here to take over. Something like that. You said our parents.
No, I will clarify for you. I'll clarify.
Let me just lay it down, because I know obviously I'll let you talk. I won't distract you. I'll just let you go on, because there's a lot of things that ticked me off when you said we're here to take over. Because first of all, who's we? I mean, in terms of like what you were talking about, and what do you mean by take over? Do you mean by like making the country an Islamic country, or making the country more of the way you guys practice, or just in political sense doing the, I don't know, bro. Could you like explain to you what you mean by like we're not here to stay, we're here to take over? Because that ticked me off, bro.
So basically, to clarify, I never said we're here to stay, we're here to take over. I said we're not here to take part.
Oh yeah,
we're here to take over.
That's right.
What I mean by that, and I stand by that actual saying. Why is it when Muslims feel proud that they want to be part of the British establishment, and they want to do good, and they want to take over good businesses, they want to take over political seats and represent their community? Why is it that right-wing extremists always think that we're trying to say take over because we want to take over the country? No, absolutely not. When I said about taking over, I meant that our people, you can see it. You can see it. Are our people not taking over? Let me finish. Are our people not taking over? When you go into the hospitals, you have, when I mean our people and when I mean we, I don't just mean Muslims. I mean ethnic minorities. I mean like the Jamaicans, the Somalians, the Qataris, the Lebanese, the Kashmiris, the Pakistanis, the Bengalis, the people from Africa, from Nigeria. Don't you see our people taking over? We are all ethnic minorities. So when I say we're not here to take part, we're here to take over, there is no malice in this. I'm not saying that we're trying to, we respect the law of the land, but unfortunately, for the right-wing extremists, we are taking over. Don't you see in your hospitals the amount of ethnic minorities that are working in there? Don't you see your surgeons, the amount of black people, brown people, Arabic people, people of religion, people of none taking over? So this is just a right-wing narrative that is being pushed by the likes of Tommy Robinson, by the likes of Nigel Farage, who are causing and sowing a divide within our communities. You cannot paint every single ethnic minority and every single Muslim person on the actions of a few. Because if we were to do that, the white British race would be responsible for what they did by colonizing half the world and even probably some of the parts of where your people are from. So you can't do that.
Yeah, it's just that, because as a British person myself, when I see somebody saying we're taking over, obviously you always have that, survival instance where you're feeling like, okay, are they going to try force me to do something that I don't want to do?
Would you like to take over the YouTube scene? Would you like to be the biggest YouTuber and take over YouTube? Would you like that?
Yeah, I would like to compete with Mr. Beast and,
Thank you. So what do you have an aim to take over?
But that's a different sense. That's a different topic.
In what sense? No, the fact that the right wing extremists have interpreted it in a way that I'm going to take their wives off them is completely wrong. I don't mean that. What I mean is, we mean to take over is to prosper. You can see the restaurants that you go to are owned by ethnic minorities. The taxi drivers, the nurses, the doctors, the bus drivers, the solicitors, the property developers, the private landlords. When in our community.
But sorry, I don't want to cut you short, but obviously
no, go for it.
Because there's a lot of things I want to cover, not just this. I got line up question, and we squeeze with time, so we don't want to go in circles. But don't you like? Because a lot that clip is already out of context itself. So when it comes out, people just know. Because when you said we're not here to take power, we're here to take over, and everybody, you got Yakub, and everybody's like, "Jeez."
Yeah, but see, that's
I'm like, damn.
No, but this is
the real law stuff.
But that's the stupidity of the person who watches that clip and takes it out of context. If you watch the 2-minute clip of me saying we're not here to take part, we're here to take over, and you listen to my colleagues like Ahmed Yaqub and other brothers have a little laugh about it, you haven't watched the whole thing. What were we talking about? What did I say before? What did I say after? And this is exactly what Tommy Two Shekel Robinson does. He quotes the Quran without context, without reading what came before, without reading what came after, and then it's clipped. These clips don't matter to us. I'm saying to you on the show, Shakil Afsar, his colleagues, our ethnic minorities in Birmingham are not here to take part. We are here to take over. Whether it's in your political sphere, whether it's in your businesses, whether it's in your NHS infrastructure, we are here to do good, and we are here to take over the same way as you, my brother, want to take over YouTube.
But you know how many people will be ticked off of you saying we're here to take over? Do you know, like, because...
I am. Hello, look, if I'm a property developer. Hello, I'm a property... No, it's not controversial. It's because the color of my skin, and because I have a name that's a Muslim name, you assume that my meaning take over. If it was a white man saying, I'm not here to take over, I'm not here to take part, I'm here to take over, it's fine. If it was Tommy Robinson saying that, it's fine. You've seen, what have Muslims done really? What have we done? If not, why is it that we are looked upon on the few wrong-uns within our community? Why is nobody looking at the good that Muslims have done?
All right, so okay, all right. So the reason why that's a good question. Why are Muslims looked upon by the wrong that some bad Muslims do, but the radical ones do, and they're not looked at of what the good they've done? So what is the good that the Muslims have done? I'm sure, bro, I got a lot of Muslim friends. I consider you as a good guy, a cool friend. We were talking back and forth. I consider,
the fact that you're asking me what Muslims have done,
because you have to,
is actually it just shows.
No,
it just shows. Let me.
You're taking me out of context now, boss. You're taking me out of context.
No, I'm not. You just said, what have Muslims done? For you as an intelligent guy who's got a t-shirt behind you that says the nation needs to know. And the nation needs to know that you guys would be still living in a cave if it wasn't for Muslims. Where did algebra come from? Where did the alphabet come from? Where did the main scientific historical facts that we used in this day and age, where did they come from?
I think that came from India, no?
No, it came from, the point I'm trying to say is, if you research the history on what Muslims have done, you will quite clearly know how instrumental, let me finish, you're cutting me off now, how instrumental Muslims have been within general society all over the globe. Let's bring it back to Birmingham. What have Muslims done? We have been working vigorously in a deprived NHS, which has lack of resources. Yet, if you walk into any hospital, I'm happy for you to. I'm happy to come to Manchester and walk into any hospital with you, and you see what Muslims have done or what they are doing. When you go into your local high streets, when you go for your curry chicken tikka masala, they're Muslims who own the restaurants. When you go, generally in Islam, if you come into any single masjid, there was a video recently that came from America, and it was a young lady phoning churches asking for food for a child.
Yeah, seen
So
that.
you've seen what Muslims done.
Yeah, seen that. That was a bad rep for Christians for sure. I have to.
No. Look.
I'm saying I'm giving it to you guys. That was
The Christians are our brothers. It could have just been, and we personally don't say that. It could have just been she rang the wrong churches and she rang the right masjid. But the point is, Muslims are not here to destroy the UK culture. We are here to be part of it. But the only difference is that United Kingdom is a secular country that allows everyone to live how they choose to live. If we can allow a man to chop off his and then be allowed to use a female toilet, then surely we can allow a Muslim woman to cover herself, and we can allow a brother to have a beard without being called a terrorist. Muslims,
that's a good
those people, those terrorists, wherever they may be, do not represent Islam and do not represent Muslims. As you've seen in Australia, the Bondi Beach hero was a Muslim. He risked his life to save people who were not religiously aligned with him. That is Islam. That is Muslims.
I went live on that. That was crazy brutal attack for that. But
crazy.
That's insane how a human being, especially a father and a son, can plan something that evil and go do it to some people, because that's 15 people dead. And of course that, the hero, I think his name is...
It's same like, my dear brother, it's same like those, those Christian extremists in America who go into schools and kill the children. Same like that.
Yeah,
it's heinous. It's disgusting.
It's not
and even with some of the religious Islamic terrorists, absolutely disgusting. Islam does not approve of taking an innocent life. If you kill one person in Islam, brother, and I'm not a religious scholar, we're talking about religion.
I've seen this.
If you take one human life, it's like taking the life of all humanity. And if you save one human life, it's like saving all of humanity.
Yeah, but one might argue that there's not that much of Muslims out there who are calling out this evil terrorist. Of course, obviously, that there's a small little group, because there's like 2 billion Muslims, and they could be.
So every time some small terrorist does something, are you saying that Muslims should apologize for that?
No.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. This channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14, on and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back, and now I'm here, and we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
Of course not, because I'm not in favor of painting everybody with the same brush. Of course not. But I'm saying they've created that Now, obviously, I don't know if you know, but now it's a mainstream.
No, but you just said a minute ago, why are not enough Muslims calling you out? How are not enough Muslims?
There's
On Twitter, on X, majority of the Muslim people who have millions of followers, even myself and Ahmed Yaqub, we've called it out.
Yeah, you guys have a influence to obviously to make sure this something it doesn't carry on, and obviously to influence the younger generation to also follow suit as well. But there was one girl who called out particularly this attack itself. I think there's a girl called Miriam. I don't know if you know. She's on X. She made a video and she says, she said, I'm a Muslim and I am with Jews. I stand with Australia, this and this. But the amount of Muslims who came at her, it was crazy. Her account blew up. That post got like 5 million views. Not because it was like, so much praise and so much, good energy being given to her, but it was full of Muslims calling her a sellout for saying she's against the attack and she's with.
Well, look, I'll clarify that to you.
I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't,
I haven't seen that post,
right.
But I'll give you an example of it.
Give me that.
When we stood about and called out the Bondi Beach attackers a few days ago, go read the comments. Go read the comments. So many right-wing extremists who claim to be, of religious faith were saying to us that why we're saying it. The point is, we love Jewish people. Absolutely. I think Jewish people are more in line with their moral values, their philosophical values, and their religious values to Muslims, as are the Christians. The issue is Zionists. We are not against Jewish people. We are against Zionists. Zionists
let's talk about that, because you and Ahmed Yaqub, I almost thought you guys were twins, because every single video you guys make, like, I think you guys are like, good. I'm sure you guys have good friendship. You guys have.
We're not friends. We're not friends. We're brothers.
There you go. So it's more than just turning up and making videos. You guys are against Zionism. And you guys call it out almost every single video. I'll probably say 90% of your video, if it's not to influence the youth to do something with their life, is more into calling out the bad, the perceived bad in your eyes. And most of the time it happens to be Zionism or obviously the far right.
Well, not really. I have to correct you there. Not perceived bad in my eyes. We've seen a genocide, and where Keir Starmer and the likes of Netanyahu have bombed the hell out of children. It's not perceived, brother. It's actually there.
No. The reason why I'm saying perceived, because it's not all your videos about Gaza and stuff. Sometimes you go out there and you call the bad stuff that you see in your eyes.
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes.
Of course, obviously, when a baby dies, hey, I think if somebody stands there and say this is not bad, I don't know about those people, bro. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. You came to Aston Villa, and what you just said was that if a baby dies, how can people not feel it? But those same Maccabi Tel Aviv fans who came to Aston Villa, the football ground that you came outside, were chanting in France that there are no schools in Gaza because there are no kids in Gaza. I wish we have enough time. I want to get into that too, but I want to get into Zionism and the division in terms of like how it's becoming very hard for us to unite. I mean, some people who are moderate already are already uniting, but how can we get the scale to be balanced where we can? Well, obviously, I believe that I can text you and call you anytime.
Absolutely.
I got your number. I got Ahmed Yaqub's number. I got what's the MP from Perry Bar.
Are you brother? Are you
can? So as I consider you guys as like of course I have my own opinion on a lot of stuff. But,
of course.
But I think if I was going through a problem and I run into you, I wouldn't hesitate to ask you if you could help, because I consider you guys as human being, good people, and you do stuff to help another brother out. But
absolutely.
But there's a lot of division today, where it gets to the point where it's becoming very, well, I have to say it now, it's becoming very deadly. Not just in Gaza, but it's coming in the West as well, where there's protests here and here. There's calls here and here, and people are being arrested left and right, center, to the point where it feels like it's being manufactured from the top, where it gets to the point where we can't even unite anymore. Why do you think that is? Because you've been the prominent guy on the on the Muslim side, calling for unity, and also sometimes saying a lot of controversial stuff. But why do you think there's a lot of division here in this country in today's time?
I think the main look in any country's arsenal, the biggest weapon that they have are not their tanks, are not their jet fighters, and are not their soldiers. The biggest weapon any country has in its arsenal is its propaganda machinery, how they influence the masses. And you're absolutely right, this is top down. I'll give you an example. The highest recorded religious hate crimes for the last 2-3 years have been against Muslims. Have you seen any billboards saying it's okay to be Muslim? Or have you seen any billboards promoting Islam, saying that we're tackling discrimination against Muslims? Muslims have been disproportionately and are being disproportionately targeted by right-wing extremists like Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage. Why that is because to divide our community. I live in an area that is 80% English. My neighbors absolutely love me. My next door neighbor who passed away only a few weeks ago was a World War II veteran. He was and he loved our family to bits. So the point is, people think why, we're not British. Absolutely we are. I am so proud to be a British Muslim and a British Kashmiri. But that does not mean that you can take away my identity and where I've come from. So Muslims will protect and ethnic minorities will protect themselves. But the problem is state-funded propaganda has been pushed to divide us by the likes of Nigel Farage because it serves his narrative. This is the same thing. If you ask any individual on these EDL groups and EDL marches, half of them can't even string a sentence together, and half of them have most of their teeth missing. So the point is, these people who are pushing this narrative is not from the ethnic minority or Abrahamic faith communities. It's from right-wing extremists like groups like EDL, BNP, like Tommy Robinson supporters. So Muslims, I can tell you that Muslims are always ready to extend the hand of peace. And I can tell you that you can come with me to any single city. The fact is, you could come with me, and 5 Englishmen could come with me into any Muslim area, and they will be given the ultimate respect, even if they might disagree with people. But if you were to take 5 Muslim people into the other side, and I think this is a test, we should do a test on this to see exactly what happens.
2026, let's set it up. I'll come to Birmingham. We'll start in Birmingham. I don't know, whichever way you want to do it. We're not firing from each other.
And you will see, you will see that Muslims are on the front line trying to create peace. We are not, but what we will not tolerate. Islam teaches us what we will not tolerate, that if somebody is abusing you, you have a right to raise your fist to your abuser. And this is the same thing that's happening in Palestine. The situation in Palestine, I believe, is sort of the analogy that I can give you is the way that the West acts is as if a woman is, if a woman is being, the question that the West asks is, why is the woman punching her rapist in the face? So in this instant, Palestinian will be the woman and Israel will be the rapist. And when Israel is the Palestinians, and when the Palestinians stand back and they react to that and punch them in the face or have protests here, people ask us, why are we protesting? We are protesting because our people are dying. Children are being obliterated. We are seeing a modern day genocide right in front of our face. When I was in school, my history teacher taught us about Hitler. And this is something that I thought about very recently. When I was in school, I always thought, how did this little guy from Germany called Hitler kill so many human lives, regardless of their religious values? How was he able to do it? How was he allowed to do it? When the strike happened on Palestine, when the Israeli barbaric establishment started to rain down on the Palestinians, I realized this is how he done it. Because we are watching the same thing happen. We are watching limbs of children being pulled out till this day. There are people under the rubble in Palestine till this day. So if we don't invoke our democratic right to protest, what else can we do?
Yeah. totally, you know, in a sense of you know, when you're silenced and you let somebody keep on doing the thing that you obviously would like to stop, and you let them keep doing it, obviously it will you know, it will happen. But before we switch on Palestine, because obviously that's a topic that deserves like you know, maybe not just, it doesn't deserve 5 minutes. That's a big topic.
I think that's a show in itself.
You know, that's more of like you know, we go back and forth. But I want to get back into this alliance. Actually, let's talk about Tommy real quick, because you mentioned Tommy like I think 7 times. I've been counting, and you mentioned you know, Nigel Farage like 3 times. So in the topic of how we unite, because that's what we're talking about here. Tommy Robinson has extended his hand in a sense where publicly, where he's out there making these announcements that he's gonna do the Unite the Kingdom rally, and you know, I'm sure if you were to reach out to him, I don't think he's gonna say no if you were to say, all right, I'm gonna bring my Muslim brothers and we're gonna come and unite, I'm gonna speak and all this thing. I think he would say yes to that. What do you think?
Yeah,
and I want you to take your time on that.
I think no, I don't need my time because I know.
All right,
so I think he probably would say yes to that. But I've got a question for you actually. Do you know Nico Omilana?
Yeah, that's my guy, bro.
That's your guy, yeah. Did you see what happened? I've been watching him since I was like, did you see what happened to him? Did you see what happened to him when he went to the Tommy Robinson's
It's a good
protest / event?
It's a good show. Yeah, I've seen that video fully, and very disgusting from the people who spoke to him.
Yes, very disgusting. And it wasn't only one person, and even a woman was saying that Muslims should be killed. Don't quote me, but something along that line when he was sat as a bus stop. So my answer is, I would urge yourself and Brother Tommy and any other right-wing person that before you criticize Muslims, first pick up the Quran, read it from cover to cover, and then have your say. The problem is people are taking Islam out of context. I'm not a religious scholar. I didn't come here to debate with you on, you know, the rights or wrongs of Islam. But the point I'm saying is, you have a right to opinion. But my question to you: have you read the Quran?
I mean, I'm not cover to cover for sure. No, I can't tell you.
Okay,
I can't lie to you like that.
So really and truly, look, if you're like with myself, when I'm fighting a cause, when I'm standing up for the Kashmiri people, I know the history behind why I'm standing. When Tommy Robinson, I could bet you Tommy Robinson hasn't even read the Quran from cover to cover.
But he's written the Quran translation though.
Yeah, Tommy Robinson couldn't rub 2 stones together. You know, the guy's a convicted criminal. Apart from his, he's been involved in fraud. You're talking to somebody who has a crystal clean record. Tommy Robinson, unfortunately, even prior to his uprising movement, was a known criminal. It's not me saying it. He's been convicted several times. So I would extend the hand to Tommy Robinson if Tommy Robinson would stop vilifying and putting all Muslims into one category. You will have bad within every community, within every color.
But you just did exactly the same thing where you seen the Nico Milana video and you referred it first and you basically criticized almost they say 500,000 people who were there. Some reports are saying 3 million people turned up, and of course, obviously, some people are saying 50,000. You just generalized all of them by the 20 people who spoke to.
Because I tell you why. Because I'm not generalizing. I'm saying that most of those people who are supporting Tommy Robinson are absolutely deluded. Most of those people who believe that Islam is a threat is absolutely deluded. One second. I can't hear you. 1 second. I am specifically talking about those people who attended Tommy Robinson's protest. Tommy Robinson is talking about 2 billion Muslims. It's a big difference. It's not the same.
No. But it's if you're talking about generalization, it doesn't matter if you're generalizing. If one person out of 10, one person does a bad thing, and you generalize those people, it's the same thing. If you were just to generalize 2 people who do bad thing from 2 billion.
I see what you mean, but I'm not generalizing it based on 10 people. I'm generalizing the head of the movement who does bad things. So Tommy Robinson does bad things. He criticizes Muslims but he's currently sat in a Muslim country eating halal meat because he won't be getting no other meat there. So unless he's going to go on a vegan diet while he's out in Dubai, he'll be eating halal meat. You know, he'll be listening to the call of prayer 5 times a day that's announced. So you hate Muslims that much.
But can
you don't like Muslims and Islam. Are you saying that the Muslims in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or Middle East are different to the Muslims in UK?
Well, there could be a lot of difference there because the way the UK government lets people do their stuff here is completely different to how Abu Dhabi's rules are over there. They are more.
What kind of stuff? What kind of stuff are you referring to? Like what?
They are more on deck. So here in the UK we have all this. I think when you see how Muslims behave here, it's more easier. They can kind of like. No.
How do they behave? I've not. I've seen a few of your other posts.
Because there's no one who will go to. There's no Christian person who will go to a.
You know what it is?
Hold on. Let me land, bro. Let me land. So there's not any Christian person who will go to a Muslim majority country and say we're here to take over. In that with no context to it. But you have the power to say such a thing.
Britain. Britain went around the world and took over. What are you talking about?
I get.
Britain ruled over the Asian subcontinent where I'm from for over 200 years. Brother, they invented the term takeover from the time Christopher Columbus discovered a boat. All they've been doing is taking over. Who is the king of Jamaica?
The king of Jamaica? I don't know.
You don't know?
Bro, how
it's King Charles, brother. It's King Charles. Who's the king of Australia? Do you know?
Oh yeah, I know Australia because obviously he travels there frequently.
Okay, who's the king of Australia?
Obviously that's King Charles. So you can even see it from the flag.
Why? So, brother,
because Australia
if anyone knows about taking over, the British establishment should have no problem with people saying taking over. They should actually understand and respect it because all they've done from the time they discovered the boat.
Bro, you just
come on, brother.
You literally.
I think we need to do this interview in person. You know,
let's do it. Let's do it. I'll come to Birmingham. Obviously, if you grant me the safety of my life there, because obviously I see a lot.
Wow. Brother, I'm actually recording this interview as well.
No, it's okay.
So what I would say is my challenge to you is, brother, you pick any part in Birmingham that you think is a closed off zone. You bring whoever you want with you of any color, and if you are not given the utmost, and you could randomly tell me on the morning you arrive. You don't need to tell me where we're going. On the morning you arrive, I challenge you. This is my challenge to you and your show, that you must come in January. You must come to Birmingham. You must pick a part that you think is you're not going to be safe in, and I'm going to tell you you're going to get nothing but love, brother.
Will you be there with me?
I'm going to be there with you, and I don't want to know the location of where you want to go until you arrive here. We will document it, so I can't arrange anything, or you can't say that I arranged this.
That'd be a big move, right? That'd be a big move.
That's how confident I am, brother. That's how confident I am.
No, I like that, to be fair. But you just tipped me off. Okay, this is what I was saying. You just referred to what the British Empire did. They conquered almost, obviously, half of the world, India, when it was as a whole. They went around the place. They was involved in it. Even in America itself, it exists because British people went there and discovered the land.
You know what they did to the Red Indians?
Yeah, we see it where if you read the book called, I think there's a book about it. It's called Red Blood, where they massacred a lot of people. Where the river turned. I think it's called Blood River or something, where the river turned red because they massacred a lot of people to take over the land.
Unfortunately, I'm ashamed of that.
I get all that, right? But you just said that's what they shouldn't be. They shouldn't worry about that. Is that what you're trying to do here, bro?
No, but we're not here to take part in a bad way. The point is,
because you just referred to what they did. So is that similar?
Because it's very telling that people whose history has been to loot, butcher, and pillage other countries are quick to say when law-abiding, tax-paying British Muslims say we want to take over. I want to take over the property scene. I want to take over the political scene. You want to take over YouTube and be bigger than Mr. Beast. So what's the problem? Why is it because if my name was Tony Smith, and I said I wanted to take over Birmingham,
But
that wouldn't be a problem.
Tony Smith is not doing anything. Not playing. But yeah, I get your problem. So okay, in terms of the division, because I just made a video right now calling out the praising this good Muslim, this good lady, and also calling out I think I also invited I raised my hand to extend Mohammed Hijab to come on the show, which we've done. Like I think we always text him to come on the show, and also talk. I wouldn't mind, Tommy is also going to come on the show.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys, honestly, for a moment. This channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14. On and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back. And now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course, I enjoy doing this, but carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
And we go back and forth on text. Now, obviously, I'll go back and forth with Ahmed Yaqub on text every time when he posts. I'm like, hey, are you running next year? He's like, yeah. Actually, I don't want to disclose all this, but but this is the unification that I want to see. I want to see you. I would love to see you, Ahmed Yaqub, Mohammed Hijab, and Dili Hussein, and I'd want to see people on the right like Danny Tomo, obviously Tommy Robinson, all these guys. I would want to see you guys in one room where everybody's uniting and we're sending a powerful message. Don't you think look at how lovely that would be, bro? Where blacks,
in a perfect world, absolutely. Who wants division? Who wants, a racial tension? Who wants? I don't look.
Because we could be talking about something more important, but now we're talking about how we are shooting each other. Because you are paying taxes.
Yeah, but see, hello, you gotta look at who's firing the shots. You have to look at who's firing the shots. You cannot expect.
I think the shots are being fired by both sides.
No, I think I have to disagree with you there.
Go on.
I have to disagree with you there. Several people have tried to burn the Quran from UK to Europe over the past few years, and one gentleman announced that he's going to burn the Bible, but when he arrived there, he said, I could never burn the Bible because we love Jesus. We love Isa. So the point I'm trying to say to you is we are not the ones who are causing the divide. The people who are causing the divide are the establishment, are people in the black jackets and the black ties and the black glasses who know that the minute what if we were to do what you just said, that they would not be able to control us, because united we stand and divided we fall. And why I said about the British establishment, it's their general rule. If you read about the historical pillaging and looting that they have done, their whole concept was divide and rule. They would divide communities amongst each other, divide religious values amongst each other, make them fight. Prior to the British invading the Asian subcontinent, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, people of faith and none lived together. As soon as they left in 1947, we have two separate countries formed. This is the British establishment. This is what I'm actually ashamed as a British person to say. I'm ashamed of our history. We should be apologizing. We should be paying retributions to people who were bought over here in the slave trade. We should be giving, the the largest diamond that is held by His Majesty, which belonged to his mother, which is called the Kohinoor diamond, which was stolen from India, which is sitting in the British Museum. How you have Egyptian important Egyptian artifacts that were stolen from Egypt and are sitting in the British Museum. So it's fun when I say that these people shouldn't have an issue with what we're saying, because this is your line. The only difference is you were looting, killing, and robbing people when you say take over. But when we say take over, we mean building a prosperous society, working with our other counterparts. They might not like us, but we must be able to have a live and let live society where we respect one another. But unfortunately, Tommy Two Shekels hasn't been doing that. He's been disproportionately targeting Muslims, which is making an increase in Islamophobic hate crimes against Muslim people. And we can run this test when you come over to Birmingham.
January.
We can run this test.
January.
I'll buy you a niqab and send you to a right-wing area and see how you're spat on and how you're sworn at. Maybe then you'll realize.
I don't think I look very feminine in a niqab, bro.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you could be a butch, you could act like a butch lady. So
Oh God,
that could probably work.
God. But all you've done here is calling out Tommy Robinson. I thought you're gonna extend a little bit of word of unification.
No,
here,
look,
but
my word. I don't look. I'm not the type of person who's going to throw my weight on a bad apple. Tommy Robinson should have some shame, and his followers should have some shame. The guy has been critiquing Muslims. He has been calling out our prophet. One second. Let me land. He's been calling out our prophet. He's been saying disgusting things about Muslims only on the behavior of a small few people. And then that same guy is sitting in a Muslim country, eating Muslim meat, eating halal meat, and then listening to the call of prayer 5 times a day. Why is he doing that? If Islam is so bad, why is he in a country that has Sharia law?
But
No, that's my question to you. Why is he in a country that has Sharia law?
in his word, he says he's there to work. So he's there for work. He's there for work.
So his work trumps his principles and his morals?
No, so when every time when he criticize, I want to ask you this question as well. Is it bad to criticize Muslims? Yes or no?
You can criticize. Everyone has a right to an opinion. There's a point of criticizing.
To what extent does it become a hatred?
There's a point of criticizing, and then there's a point of just complete hatred. And as you know, in the United Kingdom, we promote peace, brother. We promote love with one another, and that's why I've extended to you that you can pick any part and do your research. Pick any so-called no-go zone Muslim area, and you don't tell me until the day when you arrive at my house. I will put you in my vehicle. We will park up, and you can ask any question you like. You can say what you like, and people will extend nothing but love to you.
Yeah, that's something I'll be cool to we can.
And I think it'll be lovely to reach.
It'll be cool for me to see it for myself, and it'll be cool for the people to actually see.
Absolutely.
We'll see how it'll convert.
Absolutely. And I think we did run short for time today, but I'll be happy to sit down with you again.
Yeah, last one here before we end it, because obviously as I said, I wanted to sit down for a very long time because the questions that I have here and the videos I wanted to play to you, there's a lot. But
yeah, so
let's talk about this Muslim bloc, the independent candidates alliances, and it's been described as a Muslim bloc. So what's your mission with it?
No, I disagree. It's not a Muslim bloc. It's an ethnic minority bloc. It's a bloc of inner city areas where people have been completely misrepresented for the last 20 years.
Is it just in Birmingham?
No, all over the UK.
Tell me more about it.
In major cities. So, in major cities, especially inner city areas, which are predominantly more ethnic minorities and of more Abrahamic faith people, we believe that we've been misrepresented. So what you're seeing here now is not a new block of anything. It's just because, for example, I am 3rd generation in this country. My grandfather came here as a hard worker. He served in the army, in the British Army. He was a prisoner of war in Italy for 2 years. So, and my father has been in business here for the last 40, 50 years. It is now, and my father and grandfather were not politically active. The only reason it seems like a new bloc has emerged is because our generations are stepping up and realizing that our votes have been taken for granted, and people like Nigel Farage, and why I mentioned Nigel Farage is because originally when you messaged me, you said you wanted to discuss about Tommy Robinson. So the point is, and I assume that you want to talk about the right-wing extremism that states in our country. So what we believe is this is just an uprising of new young people who believe that they want to have a voice. There's no Muslim bloc. We have people who are, Jewish. We have people who are Christian. We have people who are actually even atheists, who have no religion, who say we support the work that you're doing, fighting for accurate representation and fighting against misrepresentation.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about that. The day that come in January, whichever day, we're gonna see which one is best, and we'll sit down. We'll have a big podcast. I want to talk to you. There's a lot of things here, but since we're not able to get into it, as obviously we are squeezed with time, I do not want to push it for too long.
Really? Yeah, look, I'm happy to come back anytime you like.
I mean, we can reschedule. We can reschedule. We can retry with obviously restream again. We can have a long one.
Yeah, because I actually, you didn't send me the details straight away, so I wasn't able to check until you sent them.
Yeah, I was live. I was live, bro. I was live streaming, and I ended the live at like 4:50 or something, so I can text you. So it was I was really squeezed, but next time we'll have it all planned out, and I think is on my side. Yeah, the long is on my side. But thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to come on this tour in Birmingham. Yeah. I mean, I've been in Birmingham like 3 times in my life.
Yeah, but maybe you're looking. Look. If you,
I don't really go there as much. I see videos. I'm like,
look. This is what they say. They say if you are a person who always thinks negative, you will only see negative.
But
if you are a person, one second.
The media outlet.
Let me land.
Oh, land.
If you are a person who thinks positive, you will think positive. I'm not asking you to do either of the two. I'm asking you to come to Birmingham with a middle ground, with a rationale, and see. You can't go to any city and start asking people stupid questions and then not expect a reply. Yeah. I'm saying you should bring English people with you. They should walk around these no-go areas and ask people for general help. Say, look, I need my daughter's at home. She needs some help. She needs nappies. Can you buy them for me? Yeah, you can't. Is
that how hard you want to do it? We can do it.
I want to do it very hard because you can't come here. You can't come here and ask people who wear burqa that should it be okay to ban the burqa, because that becomes a controversial question that other person has a side. So you need to ask a question that's going to be from, let's just say, a white middle-aged man who looks like he would support Tommy Robinson, to ask a Muslim man who looks like a devout Muslim, or what they would consider extremists, that can you help me with buying nappies? And then maybe we can go to a few white dominated area and ask the same thing.
All right. Yeah, perfect. All right.
I look forward to it.
So if you know where, I'm sure you know where the full white majority area is.
No, I can't do that. You have to decide. You have to do your research.
All right. So I'll bring,
because otherwise I will be accused that I set this up. So you need to do this. You need to decide where you want to come.
Let's do it. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to extend it to my viewers who wants to come, because there's a lot of people who watch me from Birmingham. When I was there, they were good. They were good to me and stuff. So I'm going to extend it to my viewers, so then they can come out and I'll meet them at a station, whatever, and we can go.
Yeah, as long as don't bring hundreds of people.
Oh no,
five, six people.
Yeah, definitely, bro. We can't. Yeah, it's not a protest. so
yeah. And don't worry. Look, whoever you bring, I'll make sure there's a nice halal meal ready for all of us at the end.
All right, that's good. It's good. But thank you so much, sir.
It was a pleasure, brother. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Man. This is your frontline on information war. We're building something big here. I don't know if you know, but the amount of things I'm going to announce to you next year, it's going to be insane. We got so many stuff that will be happening next year, in God's grace, for sure. Put God in front of it. So, and for us to get to do those stuff, this show has to grow. It has to grow to the point where it can fund those activities. It can fund the travel back and forth. It can do that. I don't know if you guys know, but we were demonetized for 9 months this year. So we basically have not made anything from YouTube. Okay, some might argue, yeah, you got the monetization in September. Okay, September 17th to be correct. Okay, then obviously 17th, we didn't make anything in September then. So we made October, November, and obviously December. And those are like tipping toeing numbers, like where it's like a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. Those things only cover a trip to London. Never mind going and back. Never mind taking the team. Never mind upgrading the software. Never mind in paying the subscription to keep the channel going. No. So I need your support. If you like what we do here and you feel like, oh yeah, I like what this guy is doing. I resonate with his message. I resonate with what it stands for. I would like to see him go on. I would like to see him stand strong. Please help. Because next year is going to be huge. It's going to be big. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
So then I was born in a refugee camp in Tanzania. At the time, there's so many people ran there. A lot of people were going there, real refugees, after being butchered from the civil war that erupted in Congo. My parents applied for asylum to all the countries. They waited. Now, then I was born in that camp, the same camp. I'm talking tents. I was born there. Now, we're waiting and waiting and waiting. For 14 years, we were waiting. Now, of course, these guys could choose to wait as well, but these guys hijacked that and they come in the country illegally. Now, the media will brand you guys racist, far right, the worst people here, the worst group here. How come the good group didn't invite me to go speak over there? So I call this the greatest awakening because all the way from over there, there's hundreds of people turning up. It's a Saturday, for God's sake. They could easily go around and watch football and have fun, go on a date, do all the lovely stuff they could do. But instead, they want to stand here, rain or not. They're ready to send the message. And I believe the message will be received today. Thank you so much.
For anybody in the back who struggled to hear this young man's story, one incredible, brave young man.
Oh yes, I agree.
British Christian values, regardless of his own beliefs. Let's hear it from Baraka.
Thank you.